Day 4 of Oscar Pistorius' sentencing arguments in the North Gauteng High Court has been adjourned, and it was a rather interesting day. Now, we know that all of yesterday, all eyes were focused on Reeva Steenkamp, and quite frankly, it was about time. Throughout the entire trial, we've been hearing about Oscar Pistorius, his disability, his insecurities, his triumphs, his successes, his love life. But yesterday, Reeva's cousin took to the stand, and she spoke about her cousin Reeva, about the hole that Reeva's death has left in her family, and about how everybody is really struggling to come to terms with the loss of Reeva. Today, Kim continued to describe how much Reeva was loved while she took to the stand. Barry Roux conducted a very respectful cross-examination of Reeva's cousin Kim. He simply pointed out to Kim that Reeva and Oscar had significantly spent a Christmas together and holidayed together too. We got the sense that Barry Roux was trying to point out that Oscar cared for Reeva and tried to look after her. The day's proceedings then moved on, and Zachariah Modise took to the stand. He's the acting National Correctional Services Commissioner, and led by Harry Nell, he described how state facilities, that's state correctional facilities, really are able to accommodate convicts with disabilities. He described how if Oscar Pistorius was incarcerated, he would be in a hospital ward where he would be given the opportunity to seek medical treatment from his own doctors if he so wished, and how the facilities at the prison would be optimally suited for Oscar Pistorius's care. Now, of course, Barry Roux was having absolutely none of that. He grilled Zachariah Modise about the dangerous conditions in prison. He even spoke about a leader of a gang in a particular prison where Oscar Pistorius could conceivably be incarcerated. That gang leader had gone on the record to say to the Star and Pretoria News that if Oscar Pistorius came to the prison and had special treatment, there would be a target on Oscar Pistorius's back. Modise refuted the claims that Oscar Pistorius would be in grave danger and not get enough medical care in the prison, saying that South African prisons are perfectly suited to handle the type of inmate Oscar Pistorius would be. But now, the really interesting part of today's case had nothing to do with the actual proceedings, but rather it had to do with the presence of Mickey Schultz in the courtroom. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, you'll know that he's the man who admitted to killing mining magnate Brett Kebble. But what was he doing in the courtroom? Well, at this point, nobody really knows, except to say that he's friends with some of the men who were in the courtroom and possibly is friendly with Samantha Taylor, who's Oscar Pistorius' ex-girlfriend. It all came to a head just after the lunch adjournment was called, when Schultz allegedly looked over at Amy Pistorius, that's Oscar's sister, and mouthed a profane statement. Now, many journalists who were in the courtroom confirmed this and tweeted as much. Amy Pistorius burst into tears, and her brother Carl apparently looked really annoyed at the situation, and the entire Pistorius family left the courtroom. It's unusual for Oscar to leave the courtroom during lunchtime. He usually stays in court, but because his sister was upset and because of this incident, they left. It seems that once court resumed again, the Pistorius family asked for Schultz to be removed from the courtroom, but regardless, court was adjourned early, ready to be picked up again tomorrow. Some reports suggest that Judge Masipa will be ready to hand down a sentence as soon as next week Tuesday, but we'll be keeping you updated on this story, so stay tuned to News 24 Live.